Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Unite Inside, and we help people unite with all the parts inside of them. And in this video, I'm going to help you to heal yourself. So a lot of times people really have a problem. They know that they have trauma and that they're going through something that needs healing, that needs repairing, but at the same time they really don't know what to do, or they trying to do shadow work or inner work, but they really don't have the tools or somebody to guide them through this process of healing. So from my experience, there was a time where I knew I had trauma, I knew I had issues, and I wanted to release them. I wanted to find a way to break through them, but unfortunately I just didn't have anybody to guide me through the process. So basically I made a lot of mistakes. I went the wrong path for a while, and it wasn't helpful for my healing. I even maybe traumatized myself even more. And a lot of people would do that. So, but then I ended up in my own journey finding out about the right way to heal. I found out what really works and what doesn't work. So that's what I'm here to do. I am going to share with you the things that truly help me heal. So basically, what is healing? First of all, what is healing? Healing is going back to your natural state, okay? What does it mean to go back to your natural state? So when we were kids, babies in general are in their natural state, which means that they don't have any wounds, they don't have any hurts when they are babies, which means that they don't have any false beliefs about themselves. Wounds are mostly created by having a false belief that you start believing in that is not really true about yourself. Like, for example, you might go through trauma that makes you believe that you're unworthy or that you're not good enough. Okay, this is a false belief because you're not unworthy, okay, but you believe that you are just because you've been through an experience where you constantly go through maybe people don't respect you. They just show you that it makes you feel like maybe they're showing me that I'm not worthy. It just goes to the logical mind wants to have like an explanation to why you keep going through this. So your mind thinks, oh, that means I'm unworthy. Okay, so this is what happens. That's why kids that are newborns, for example, they know that they're worthy. So that's why they ask for their needs. Why do you think they cry whenever they want something that they want? Okay, that's because they know that they're worthy of what they want. They know that they deserve to have their needs met. But the thing is, if you were a kid and you did believe that you're worthy, but then your parents, like didn't meet your needs and didn't make you feel worthy, you are going to start believing in this false belief that you're not worthy. And this is the wound, okay? This will create a wound because now it's a hurt. It hurts to think that you're not worthy. As a person, as a creation in this universe, as a creature in this universe, it hurts to believe that you're not worthy, or that there are other beliefs that you might believe. You might believe you're ugly. You might believe you're stupid. You might believe you're a loser. There are a lot of beliefs that you might believe that could create a wound in your heart, in your, it could affect your chakras. And then what happens is that you start to identify, you create a new identity, okay? This identity is false, and then you start identifying with it. Like, for example, let's say that you were a confident person, a confident little kid, and you like to say whatever you want in your mind, but then you had a parent that always told you to shut up all the time. Like, imagine that every time you want to talk or speak up, somebody's like, shut the fuck up. You will start to feel like maybe I'm not validated, maybe I'm not worthy. of speaking. And so that part of you, that confident part of you that likes to be, you know, introverted, that likes to be extroverted and stuff, is going to be replaced by another part that will be created out of that trauma that is more quiet, because now you're gonna want to be quiet, you're gonna want to be more shy, more like, because there is the shame that gets created. You might even start feeling like ashamed for speaking up. Okay, so every time you want to speak up, you remember that your mom or your dad always told you to shut up. So you feel, maybe because maybe because I'm shameful, maybe because what I'm about to say is shameful. So you feel that shyness and you like become more quiet. So now, instead of being this confident person, loud, confident person, now you're the opposite of that, okay? Now you're quiet, okay? But this quietness is not really who you are. This quietness is just created by this trauma, okay? But now, because you have been quiet for all your life, because every time you speak up, somebody tells you to shut up, you're gonna attract more people to tell you to shut up. Because this is a pattern that you get into. You get into this pattern of, you think that your voice is shameful, you feel unworthy and shameful about your voice, and then you speak up, and then you attract somebody to tell you to shut up because you feel that way about yourself. And so it becomes a circle, a cycle, okay? And when that happens, it's very easy to believe that you are a quiet person, or that you are a shy person, or that this is who you are, which it's not who you are. Your natural state was confidence. Your natural state was loudness, radiance. It's not really being loud, but it's more like being openness, you know, just like being confident and speaking your mind, okay? It used to be natural before, but it's not now because it hurts. It hurts because you feel this shame or guilt. There are a lot of things that you can feel. You can feel shame, you can feel guilt, you can feel grief, you can feel just a bunch of hurtful feelings, and that is the wound. Okay? And so what does it mean to heal this wound? It means to simply go back to your natural state where you were confident, or where you were happy, or where you were any sort of high vibrational feeling was actually your natural state. Okay, so with that being said, that means that if you're a depressed person right now, it means that healing your depression will mean, healing when it comes to you will mean going back to feeling happy, hopeful, having faith in your life. If you're anxious, healing would mean feeling secure again, feeling trust again, feeling relaxed again, okay? If you have low self-esteem, it would mean feeling good about yourself again, feeling proud of yourself again, feeling like you love yourself, like you like what you're doing, okay? So now I'm going to share with you 2 steps that helps me with my healing, that really, when you follow them, it really makes your healing process very smooth and easy, and it speeds up your healing. When you do it, your healing is going to speed up very quickly. You're not going to be stuck. So what is the first thing that you can do? First of all, you have to understand that if you're approaching your healing process from an attitude of, there is something wrong with me, I need to fix myself, I need to improve and change because right now I'm bad, right now I'm not living up to my full potential. This is judgment towards yourself. And judgment is always, judgment is just not going to help you, okay? It's not going to help you heal. It is not a good environment for your healing to happen, okay? You can't heal while you think that there's something wrong with you, because there is nothing wrong with you, okay? It's not that you need to be fixed. It's just that you need to reconnect to your natural state. That's really what's going on. The thing is, it's not like you're a cup that fell in the ground and that's broken and beyond repair. No, that's not really who you are. What's going on with you is that you have created a false self, a false ego. Now you think that that's who you are. All you have to do is reconnect back to who you were, okay? Who you actually are, your true self, your true essence. Okay, so with that being said, this whole thing means that there is actually nothing wrong with you. You didn't wake up in the morning and think and became insecure. Like, that's not how it happened. It happened after years and years of trauma, after having somebody in your life that constantly triggers you, constantly criticizes you, constantly puts you down, constantly tells you to shut up. So like, you have all of this thing going on. Of course you're going to develop a wound. So it is okay that you're going through this. You are fine. You are normal. If you went through an accident and you broke your bones, you're not gonna get up the next morning and be like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I can't get up today. My bones are broken. What is fucking wrong with me? You're not gonna do that because you know that you went through an accident. So you have to understand that it is not that you're a bad person or that you need to change or that you're not like other people. It is that you did go through trauma. So people that you see are confident or are happy, they didn't go through that that kind of trauma. So you can't compare yourself with them and think that you need to do better or like you need to be, you can't have those expectations. Those expectations are going to hurt you because they're absolutely unrealistic. You went through trauma, okay? And that's why you are not like other people. You have wounds, okay? And you need to heal them by going back to your natural state. Okay, so acceptance here is very, very important. To accept that you did go through trauma, to understand, to accept that this is something that you are going through and that it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. This is, when you do this, when you approach your healing from an attitude of like, I am normal, I am okay. That makes every part of you that's truly hurt and truly wounded, it makes it feel like it has the right to feel the pain. It has the right to heal, to repair. You give it that time, you give it that space to like express how hurt it feels without feeling like it has to not feel its emotions. It has to not express how painful it feels. What I mean with this is, imagine if you were hurt and you just hurt your finger, for example, and it was so painful that you had to yell, and someone is saying, don't yell, don't yell. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why are you yelling right now? What's wrong with you? Of course you hurt your finger. Of course that's why you're yelling. So whatever you're doing to express how painful you feel, if you feel like crying, if you feel like, if you feel any sort of pain, you're going to, if you let yourself express that you do feel that pain, if you let yourself express that you do feel that pain, what will happen to you is that that is a way of healing. Healing doesn't happen by suppressing and telling yourself that, well, there's something wrong with the fact that I'm hurt right now, and so the healing will be to like not feel it. No, like when you do that, that's actually the opposite of healing. When you suppress something, it always comes up in a different way. It always comes up in maybe an unhealthy way. Maybe that's why people drink so much, or that's why people develop these habits that can really be very damaging to them. It's because they're not letting themselves express how painful they are while accepting that they did go through this trauma, and that it's okay to express how painful they feel. It's okay to express that yes, I did go through this and I do feel unworthy, and it's okay that I feel unworthy, and I'm gonna express how I feel. It's good to get into the habit of expressing that this is how you feel without feeling like you're wrong for feeling the way you feel. You're wrong for feeling unworthy, that you have to feel good. Sometimes when people try to heal themselves, they get into this um, this like attitude of like, oh, I have to be perfect. No, I have to be confident. Like, no, you don't have to be confident. The healing comes when you accept that you did go through pain and you let yourself express it, okay? So the second thing that will help your healing process so much is, ta-da, compassion. Compassion. Compassion is literally, it is really the first thing that you have to do to heal a wound, okay? You can't heal a wound by telling that wound that it shouldn't feel the way it feels, and you can't heal that wound by judging that you shouldn't feel the way you do. Like anything that's judgment and cruel, anything that's like, you can't feel, blame yourself. Also blame, get rid of blame. If you're trying to heal yourself, blame is the worst thing. What happens to me is that when I was healing myself from codependency and from people pleasing and all these patterns that I had, at first when I was trying to heal myself, I got into this really bad habit of like really blaming myself for the trauma. Like, why did you let them push your boundaries? Why did you not stand up for yourself? How could you do this? And feeling all this resentment towards myself. But instead of doing that, why don't you understand why you actually didn't stand up for yourself? How about when you were 8 years old or when you were 4 years old, you actually was so scared of standing up for yourself because every time you did, you got a consequence, a bad consequence, you got hurt for it, you got punished for it, and so you developed this fear that if I do stand up for myself, it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna protect me. So now you're trying to protect yourself from a different way. You're trying to protect yourself by maybe by being a people pleaser, maybe by pleasing them. That's what worked for you. So basically, we're trying your best. Don't tell yourself, oh my God, I hate you, I hate myself because I never stood up for myself. Don't do that, okay? That's not gonna heal you. What you need to do is compassion. So let me show you an exercise that you can do every time you have a part of you that you want to heal, every time this part comes up for you. So let me do that for you, okay? You can meditate while doing this exercise, or you can just sit somewhere while you're not going to be interrupted, okay? So this is what you're gonna do. Let's say that a part of you is anxious. Let's say that you feel anxious, okay? You feel anxious, your mind is going miles and miles, you're overthinking. What do? So you're going to go to a quiet place, close your eyes, relax your body, and take a deep breath in and tune into the part of you that feels anxious. Tune into the anxiety and just observe that anxiety. More like you're trying to get to know it. Feel the anxiety. You don't have to judge it. You don't have to try to push it away like it's not there. You don't have to say that it's supposed to, you don't have to like tell yourself that you're not supposed to feel anxious right now because there's nothing going on. Don't try to change how you feel. Literally just tune into the anxiety, okay? Do that, keep observing it for a while. You can do that for 10 minutes or even less than 10 minutes or more, for as long as you want. You're doing this so that you can get to know how you feel, okay? Then, once you do this, there's another thing that you're going to do, which will be, imagine that this anxiety is like an entity inside of you. It's a part of you, but it's an entity that is full of anxiety that's inside of you. You can imagine it. It can look like a cat, or it can look like a pet that you like, or it can look like a baby. You can imagine it to look like your inner child, but it's just like something that is inside of you, okay? And you're looking at it, you're observing it, and it's there, okay? Now that you have looked at it as an entity inside of you that's feeling this anxiety, this is what you're gonna do. From this step, you're going to you're going to start to connect to this part, to this anxious part. Connect to it. How do you connect to it? You're open to understanding what it's going through, okay? For the first time, instead of trying to change it, instead of trying to run away from it, instead of trying to go somewhere else, you're going to stay with it and ask it questions. Literally like you're having a conversation with it. This is what it's gonna look like. You're feeling anxiety, feeling anxious, and then you say, what are you anxious about? And then you wait for that part to answer you. And then if this part says, I feel worry because I feel like something bad is gonna happen. You can ask it, why is something bad going to happen? And it can say, because in the past, when I'm going through something like this, something bad happens. And then don't try to change it. Don't say, oh, but this time is different. No, you just ask. You can tell it, how does it feel if something bad happens? And the anxious thought will be like, the anxious feeling will be like, well, because it's bad. It's going to be hurtful for me. It's going to feel, it's scary, okay? So while you're doing this and you're trying to understand, you're only trying to understand this part. Not change it, not run away from it, just understand this part, okay? Once you do that, it is going to be very, very easy for you to understand that part. So now that you understand that part, try to give it some compassion. Feel the compassion that you have to this part. Feel this like feeling of like how it feels, like how hurtful and scary and what it's going through. Okay? Just like you're connecting to an entity, just like you're connecting to your pet. Imagine that your pet is going through this anxiety, okay? Your pet is going through this anxiety. How feel the connection, okay? Feel the connection and feel the empathy that you have towards this part, okay? So first thing first is just to provide this part your compassion and to understand it, to attempt to understand it, okay? And then you can really repeat some affirmations that can help this part. For example, like, it's okay, I'm here. Don't say things like, if something comes up that wants to stop this part from feeling the way it feels, if something comes up that wants to make this part change in any way, like for example, you have like a critical thought that's like, oh, you shouldn't feel anxious right now, or oh, you're annoying, or oh, anything like that, ignore that part and only feel the compassion towards the anxiety, okay? Keep only feeling the compassion towards the anxiety, because when you do that, the other part, we want the other part to be overpowered. The part that's like, that's more judgmental towards the anxiety, we want to take over that part and we want to engage directly to the anxious feeling that you have, instead of having another part, which is the part of you that criticizes you, engage with this anxiety, okay? So when you do that, the anxiety will calm down, because you're not requiring the anxiety to change. The anxiety is gonna calm down, and it might even heal, okay? If you do this over and over, you can do it with every part. It can be that you feel unworthy, and start asking yourself questions about why. Start asking your unworthiness, okay? Now unworthiness could be an entity, okay? So this is something that you can do. This is how you heal, and this is going to be very beneficial and effective, and it will transform, because we want to transform the wound, okay? And this is the only way to transform the wound. You can't transform the wound through judging the wound, okay? So yes, and I hope that you liked this method. You can use it on any wound that you want. I will definitely be creating more videos about how to heal. This is going to be like a series. I will be creating a bunch of videos that will be specifically designed to help you heal. Every time I will give you more tips to help you heal properly. I will make videos about shadow work and inner work and completely becoming connected to those parts of you that are not very in alignment, so that you can re-own them, so that you can unite with all the parts inside of you. Okay, so if you like this video, feel free to share it with your friends and to leave a comment. I love you. I hope that you heal, and I'll see you in the next video.